Western Australia enjoys more days of sunshine than any other state or territory in the country. An average of 265 glorious days of blue skies. But even on the brightest days, there are people within our community who only see the darkness. They are weathering storms so powerful that it feels like they'll never get out.
I lost my husband of 34 years. My world just fell apart.
The police came and told me what had happened, and I said, oh, no, he's not well, but he wouldn't have done that. And they sort of said, oh, we've identified him. And I just remember that first feeling of just absolute terror that day, and I didn't know how I was going to tell the girls that, their dad was gone.
He had had a suicide attempt and we had taken him to the hospital. He had been discharged from there and told, look, he's a 19-year-old kid. He's just going through some problems. It's teenage issues. He'll be fine.
You couldn't convince me for a minute that my father would ever self-harm. Yeah. And I don't think that's how he perceived it when he did what he did. I think he saw it as self-help. And that's the tragic bit.
I still, to this day, knowing everything and seeing him that night at the morgue, that I still can't believe that it's happened.
And the questions, why didn't we see this? How didn't I know? How could I spend all my life with someone and not see signs? But he covered them so well,
From the outside, he pulled himself together. He was happy, he was talking to everyone. He promised he would never do it again.
I knew he didn't do it to us personally. That would have been the last thing. And I guess I knew that he obviously was in the greatest despair when he made that decision.
4 weeks later, he was dead. So in some ways, when I reflect back, he was saying his goodbyes to us.
My kids will grow up without their grandpa. And my son, he misses his grandpa very much.
In 2014, 374 West Australians took their own life. We have one of the highest rates of suicide in Australia. Nearly 15 people per every 100,000 will take their life this year.
Be a burden is a big thing that people say. I don't want to burden my friends and family with this. So if we don't come out and ask direct, are you suicidal tonight or today, then maybe no one's going to ask.
Everyone can be in crisis, all walks of life. Just pick up the phone. Don't have to do the tough stuff on your own.
All it takes is one person to say, I'm here, I'm listening. This simple act of caring creates a ripple that turns into a wave of hope.
I figured before I go and make any decisions, I want to speak to somebody who's removed from the situation. I want to speak to somebody who doesn't know me, doesn't know my family, and I was kind of deep down hoping that they would agree with me to say that, you know what, maybe it is best that you go. But I called Lifeline instead. And when I called Lifeline, I spoke to somebody who just sat and listened to me cry, which was almost relieving because I didn't have to say anything. I could just sit there and pour my heart out. And I had this person over the phone saying, it's okay, reassuring me, letting me know what I needed to do.
55,000 Western Australians call Lifeline every year.
Yeah, I'm eternally grateful to them. I don't know what their name is. I remember she was a female. But that's all I remember. I have no recollection of anything else except for the fact that she told me that I was worth it. And she told me that that life wouldn't be better for my kids if I wasn't there.
If you are suicidal tonight, then let's work on that together.
No one ever has to face anything alone.
You may only be one person, but one person can change someone's life. Support Lifeline WA.